Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Truth Talk podcast. I'm back here with MI.
What's up, guys?
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the strange passing of the crypto founders. Let's get right into it. I am sure many of you guys have been hearing about the strange passing of the three crypto founders that happened all in weeks of each other a few months back. Many people online, including myself, have found this strange, especially when we take a look at how these people passed. Cryptocurrency has been on an aggressive rise in the last few years, making the founders of these cryptocurrencies extremely wealthy. I have always been firmly against crypto, as it seems to be the one world currency needed for the New World Order. We have seen how fast crypto has risen since its introduction. So many people have accepted and trusted it without fully understanding it. Most people don't even know where crypto came from. They just buy crypto because they're told to. In my opinion, crypto's like the wild, wild west right now. Everything goes, and this is by design. Those who control our world are trying to create the illusion that crypto is currently made by the people for the people, but in reality, crypto was made by the Masons for the New World Order. I believe each of these crypto billionaires were targeted for the same reason: control. As anyone that can't be controlled must be eliminated. Many people look at these tragedies confused, wondering how these crypto founders all went out right after each other in such strange ways. Tiantian Kullander, who was only 30 years old, reportedly passed unexpectedly in his sleep. Kullander was the co-founder of a Hong Kong digital asset company called Amber Group and was worth a reported $3 billion. After looking into Kullander, I couldn't find anything stating he had any previous illnesses that could have led to his passing. The fact that there's no true explanation on what happened to him, just that he passed in his sleep, seems extremely suspicious to me. We all know 30-year-olds don't just normally pass away in their sleep out of nowhere without any previously known medical conditions. It just doesn't seem to make any sense. Maybe he had some enemies or pissed off the wrong person, but I couldn't find if he was targeted for any specific reason. He just seemed to pass at the young age of 30 with no explanation whatsoever. Unlike the next person we need to talk about, Vyacheslav Taran, who was a 53-year-old crypto billionaire. At around 1 p.m. on November 25th, Taran was on a helicopter ride when, strangely, out of nowhere, the helicopter went down. Both Taran and the pilot did not make it. Oddly enough, another passenger was supposed to be on board the helicopter with Taran that day, but luckily for him, he canceled last minute, leaving only Taran and the pilot on board. According to the reports, the deputy public prosecutor visited the scene of the accident and couldn't rule out if there was foul play. It's important to note that it's being reported that the helicopter was flying in good weather, which further raises suspicion. Taran was the co-founder of a Russian crypto trading company called Liberatech. Just like Kullander, Taran's passing was unexpected, as there hasn't been anything reported to be wrong with the helicopter. When I was looking into Taran, I found a lot of interesting information that to me could explain what possibly happened on that day. According to many different articles online, Taran was connected to the Moscow Foreign Intelligence, allegedly being involved in a shady money laundering operation. Taran was allegedly involved in laundering money for the Russian intelligence agencies using his crypto trading company. Many people believe this definitely could have played the role in what happened to him. His family denies all allegations that he was involved in money laundering, nor that he was working with the government. That being said, it's still very suspicious this is what he was accused of being involved with, and then he just so happens to go out in a mysterious way. To me, it's obvious Taran became a liability, and not even his tremendous wealth could save him from what was sadly planned for him. The most suspicious passing of them all has to be Nikolai Mushegian, who was a 29-year-old crypto billionaire from Florida that had moved to Puerto Rico. Nikolai sadly drowned at a beach near his home after he left his home early in the morning to go on a walk. What makes Nikolai's passing the most suspicious out of the three was that before he passed, he tweeted out something very interesting. According to Nikolai, he felt that the CIA and the elite were after him, and that the elite, alongside of the CIA, were running an illegal coup operation out of Puerto Rico. This operation was similar to what we saw Mr. Epstein doing with his private plane and his island. Nikolai even stated that they were going to frame him using his ex-girlfriend, who he discovered was a spy working for those agencies. He also felt that the CIA were doing something to mess with his mind, which to me clearly sounds like MKUltra. After Nikolai tweeted these statements, he would leave his home for a walk and never be seen alive again. His parents claimed that Nikolai had mental issues and that there was no foul play, but his close friends are not buying it, and they feel that there's more to the story. In my opinion, we already know the people that Nikolai was accusing are capable of doing exactly what Nikolai is claiming. Something I found really interesting was how Nikolai felt that they were messing with his mind. We all know the CIA were the ones behind Project MKUltra, and Nikolai just so happens to feel that his mind was messed with. You tell me what this appears to be. In my opinion, Nikolai discovered something he shouldn't have, and he sadly paid the price for it. The same day Nikolai passed, he tweeted that they were going after him and were trying to take him out. Hours later, he's discovered by a surfer offshore. What I found odd is how his parents felt the need to tell people that Nikolai had mental issues, and it's the reason he tweeted those things out. They made it clear they didn't feel any foul play had happened to Nikolai. This, in my opinion, appears to be Nikolai's parents either trying to protect themselves by playing dumb, or maybe they're being forced to say those things to keep up with the story. Nikolai literally tweeted out, CIA, Mossad, and the P-word elite are running some kind of entrapment blackmail ring out of Puerto Rico and the Caribbean islands. They're going to frame me with a laptop planted by my ex, who is a spy. Then he just so happens to mysteriously drown. I don't see why Nikolai would make these accusations up. What does he have to gain from saying this about these people? All it does is make him a target. It can't be just a coincidence he so happens to post this before he passed away. It was a clear warning. Nikolai was warning people of what was yet to come. He on several occasions made it known that he stood firmly against the banking system that currently controls the world's wealth. According to Nikolai, he was trying to change that with his cryptocurrency. He called out the entire central banking system several times, something that was seen as risky, knowing how much power those in banking have. I believe this made Nikolai a target, and it's what cost him everything at the end. It is a no-brainer. Nikolai's comments played a part in what happened to him. I also believe that a lot of these independent crypto billionaires will also become targets if they don't comply as well. Those who run our world are in the process of making sure crypto is accepted by everybody and eventually fully controlled by them. No one really knows the true identity of the person who invented cryptocurrency, and this is done for a reason. Crypto was made by the Masonic Order as the new one world currency that they need for their new world order. Crypto is being introduced as a currency by the people, for the people, but this is only being done so that people would easily accept it. Once the currency is widely accepted and replaces the old currencies, people would finally realize crypto was always just a part of the New World Order plans the entire time. It is no coincidence that one of the things needed for a New World Order is a one world currency, and crypto is described as a global currency. Those who run our world are going to get rid of anybody who won't bend to their rule. This is what I believe we're seeing with these crypto leaders, all passing out of nowhere. These are the people that wouldn't bend or were no longer needed. It's like almost impossible for people to say that this entire situation isn't suspicious because he tweets about some secret operation that's going on and then literally passes away hours after those tweets. He has a bunch of tweets where he's talking about these evil people that are running the world and who are running the banking system. And he also talks about how he's being targeted for exposing this information. Literally hours after he exposes this information, he's gone.
We know what it is. We know it's all fake. They're just going to keep putting it out there, the false news, and people are going to keep buying into it. They're going to keep believing it. You got 3 crypto billionaires. What are the chances of that happening? 3 crypto billionaires all passing away in suspicious ways.
And not only that, when we think about Nikolai especially, Nikolai is talking about how he felt that they were messing with his mind. He felt that he was being targeted. He felt that his ex-girlfriend was a spy. To most people, that might sound like gibberish or craziness. We have to consider the fact that Nikolai isn't most people.
Listen, I believe the whole thing. I believe his girlfriend was a spy. He ain't gonna make that up. You know, when you at the top of the food chain like that, these people will do anything to get to you. They'll send somebody to set you up. They do it all the time.
Exactly, and that's my point. It's clear that Nikolai was exposing something and he paid the price for it. And the reason why this all ended up happening to him was because they were messing with his mind. It's obvious that something definitely was done to him. And it's also strange if you think about it. What would be the purpose of him tweeting all this out if it was all false, if it had no truth behind it? What would be the purpose of him putting himself in hot water with the CIA, with the other organizations that he mentioned? It just doesn't make any sense. There's definitely something that he was exposing, and he paid that price. He knew that this was going to happen. They were after him. They were definitely trying to get rid of him.
They can't control him. He's a billionaire for crypto. You feel me? His money, they can't be tracked. They can't take it. They can't do nothing. So they have to take care of him, you know? They had to do that. You a super rich dude. They can't track your money. You're a billionaire off of crypto. They cannot control you. There's only one option for them.
If we think about the other people on this list, it's also suspicious, not only the helicopter, but the kid who passed in his sleep. The chances of someone so young passing in their sleep like that without having any previous medical conditions, it just doesn't really add up. It seems like, he was again taken out.
Yeah, man, they were all taken out. I'm not hearing anything else. Just the fact that 3 crypto billionaires all passed out of nowhere like that in that small amount of time, it's to the point that I feel like they're not even trying to hide what they're doing. They just doing it. They don't care who knows and who doesn't. They just doing what they got to do.
It's interesting to see that no one says nothing when someone is literally saying this kind of evil is taking place here. There's no one really saying nothing about that. There should be news coverage on, is there any truth behind what he said? There should be an investigation because there's obviously something going on that he was willing to say this and risk it all to put that out. But that's what the media is going to do. They're going to cover this up. They're not going to give this any media coverage. When they do cover it, if you look up his name, it says that he was a troubled person and he was paranoid and all this because they're trying to discredit him. They're trying to make it look like what he was exposing isn't true. But in reality, we already know that the billionaires and the elite people of this world, the ones who run our world, these are the type of things they like to do. They leave the country, they go to other countries to be able to do these kind of things and not get in trouble for it and not even have to face any consequences for it. And that's what I believe was going on in this situation here.
And that's the thing. And nobody pays attention to it, though. Everybody ignores it. He's telling you, just like Michael Jackson was telling people. Everybody tells people when they know they're going to go. We see it all the time with rappers and singers, And
then the media shuts everybody up. They just put a story out, a narrative out, and that's what everybody goes by. It's the same thing every single time. It's just too much evidence right in your face for you to turn a blind eye and say, well, it's a conspiracy theory. There is no conspiracy theory here. He said that there was something going on and he ends up passing right after. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's obviously he paid the price for the comments he made, for what he decided to reveal.
And one more thing we need to pay more attention to is when people are crying out for help. Like that crypto billionaire, that was his cry for help.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time where people say this, but like I said, most people are just too interested in their own thing to even go out of their way to care about others. So I understand why it goes unnoticed, but I honestly feel like this guy, it's obvious that he paid the price for exposing the truth. And there's going to be so many more people who choose to expose the truth. And this happens to them because they're not going to allow the truth to be out there. They're going to try to suppress it every time. Who knows what this guy was involved in as well? Like how he discovered that they were doing this in Puerto Rico or whatever. Who knows? But what matters is that he chose to expose it. That's the most important thing to me. He chose to speak out about it and then he was taken out. There's obviously someone trying to keep control at the top and they do not want new leaders. They do not want new money in. They do not want people that aren't taking the oath to be able to be in their positions in life. So they're going to do what they have to do to keep things there. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you guys for showing up, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
I just wanted to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the TruthFist store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make helps with the funding of Truth Records. The link to the TruthFist store is also in the description. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts on this video and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.